In this video, I want to show you how you can create this model fully rigged with bone system, clean up the mesh, most important, fixing those blemishes that may occurred. I was utilizing Gemini Nano Banana engine, and my prompt was full body creature design, a swamp goblin, green skin, also additional details. Most important for us, it was T pose with arm fully horizontal, palm facing down, so when you give it information, we can provide also colors on the background, but I found out isolated on a white work the best. Also, you can specify like ZBrush sculpt or other ones to provide better details. Next, we need to create a different views. You can actually render just with one, but personally I do like to create like back view right here and as well sides. Notice with Nano Banana it's much easier. You just specify view from back, from left side, and from right side. After you generate your reference images, which you actually can use even photos or anything you like it, we need to convert 2D to 3D model. Personally, I found the High Items 3D provide the best quality on a mesh and on a quality of a mesh for me to use it. But it will have a small step because High Items 3D produce very high quality mesh and a high density as well, so we'll need a little bit clean up inside the Blender, which is totally normal. Of course you can use it any other ones, but I do recommend for the quality and for high reference to original image. Personally, High Items work the best for me. Also, you'll notice High Items updated to the new engine 2.1, which is way better than before, and as well they provide some additional interesting options that we can use it, but we'll look for them in the next video. Right now, let's go work with our goblin. I'm going to create a general. We'll go click on multi views 2D, and right here you can see we have the front, back, left, and right. Another big plus to using with High Items 3D, they're accepting high resolution reference images. Nano Banana, it's output in a 4K resolution, so it's quite a bit size. Need to remove one extra step to convert images from high to low resolution. It's a plus. It's a better to stream out my workflow. While the image loading, we want to be sure we have it using new version 2.0. We also want to use it High Pro model. You can step down and it will still produce a very good result, but for this test I want to create highest. Notice the highest also excellent for the 3D printing. For the us, I'll just use the high so we can push to the limits. Next, I want to generate geometry and texture. And when it's all ready, just click on generate. After generation is completed, you will have it your 3D model. Mine currently was rendered with the textures, and we can see it's very good high resolution. Just look on the quality of this model. As well, we can preview just in white diffusion. It did utilize, as I said before, our reference images to create precise model as we needed. And I can compare even face and it's look precisely. This is what I like about High Items, it's how well it will be references to our images to create this model. After we're done, now we're ready to export and use it inside the Blender to prepare our model to use it for animations and including 3D games. So to export, we want to be sure we'll select FBX. This is the best format for us. It also will include textures, everything we needed. So let's go click FBX and just click on download. It's all what we need to do. Also, if you look above in a plugin, you notice High Items 3D have a direct plugin that you can utilize directly inside the Blender. I will show you workflow without plugin, but trust me, plugin make much easier and faster to work. And we maybe even cover just small portions so you can compare this as well. To import models and rigging inside the Blender, we need to have at least 2 plugins installed. Be sure you're going inside the Edit, Preferences, go to click on Add-ons, and right here we'll have at least what we're going to use, it is High Items 3D. You remember I mentioned about this plugin if you want to do it. And also other ones we needed, it's called a Rigify. This is help us to assign a rig directly to our model, and it's like a bone system, so we can animate and we can repose and do other fun stuff with this. To install the High Items 3D, first, if you're not yet done, click on there and download it a Blender plugin. It will be just a zip file, and leave this as zip file. Do not open or extract. Inside Blender, we'll go click down, click install from the disk, then navigate to the place where you save the zip file and just select and click install from the disk. It's all what you need to do. Very simple. After this, you should have it in this appear installing plugin. And when we're here, you also want to install Rigify. This is kind of come in a pack, and for this you just need to go on top right here, search, and just type there Rigify, and you can see it will appear, and you can just install from here as well. So one, you need it downloaded and install from directory where you save it, and another ones you can install directly from typing in a search bar. After this should be available. To verify if they're available in Blender, if you're going in your main viewport, on the top right you'll see this arrow small. Just click on this and you'll see this is expanded. You'll notice right here you have your High Items 3D, and a Rigify won't be exactly here because it's not plugged in, but will be available for us later when we start using. So now we're ready to actually work with our model. So remember, we save as FBX model, and we're going to import. So I'm going just simple find where I save it, take our Goblin FBX, drag, and just drop on the middle. For me, it's important that scale stay 1 and rest can be set by default. Because we don't have animations, you can check uncheck animations, doesn't really matter because we don't even have a bone system. So next, let's go click import FBX. As we importing this model, if we look closer, you'll notice this model does not import properly. First, the center is right here on the middle, and it's kind of synced down as well. It's not yet properly sized. So to size properly, we need to have it several steps done. We need to create several steps. I'll have it for you a special downloadable if you need it. And to make it much easier, I actually have the Python script you can run that will help us to prepare any model like this to rigging. And this is actually a good way to look the true power of the Blender. For this, we'll just go inside the scripts. We want to be sure our model right here. And by the way, if you have it, you can press 1, 2, switch viewports. I press on numpad number 1, and then we can have it a straight view easy. We want to be sure our model is selected, and we have the script open. If you don't have any text, you can click down and just select create new text, and just go paste our code. So what this Python code does, it's take our center, putting reposition figures, make position figures bigger, imported a rig, scale properly to the rigging, delete rigging, and position our center to the bottom feet. So it's kind of several steps that we can do easy by ourselves, but this is save time and make more consistent. After script is loaded, let's go just click run button, and we can also open our Blender terminal. You can always open this terminal to preview by clicking inside the windows and go toggle system console. This will give it provide output, and right here you can see it's actually tell us it's already fixed. You notice our script, it's increased size for our model to be correct inside the Blender, and it's also putting our anchor down below. It's where we need it for our model. So this is a first step. If we look on a model, whatever it's producing, and we come closer, and you can see it's a crazy amount of the mesh. It's a perfect when you do 3D printing, and it's perfect first step. Sometimes I generate models in other AI and they produce not enough mesh, so we're losing some of the details. In this case, we have high details, and inside Blender we can use it a more sophisticated engine now to clean up this mesh. By cleaning, it's removing some double meshing, working on a welding, and you'll see performing some cleaning and also doing some reduction on a mesh. If we take this mesh and putting in some other applications to rig it, after rig it, AI rig it, they actually cannot handle that much of the polygons. But in a Blender we can do this. Set up for us prepare, kind of clean up our model for our next step. Python script, I'm just copying paste here, and remember all those scripts will be links down below, so you can same way just copy and paste. I'm also keeping right here closer little bit look on our mesh, so we can see reduction and cleaning. After clicking run, you'll notice it's come up with tiny menu on the top where it says, right here, let's put it, target quality. So what is happening, it's a reduction, 0.5. It's a reduced amount of polygons in half. This is where we can preserve our original high details and nice mesh, but reducing this little bit mesh to have it even better effect on this. As well, you can see we can reduce, I'll go put it even lower so we can see a better effect, but you can play around, and remember you can run more than once this. So we'll go select, click OK, and let the script do its magic. Depend on the speed of your computer. This process may take a little bit time, because if it's work with thousands and thousands, hundred thousands maybe of vertex and polygons, it will require time to go recalculate and fixing some of those connections. And here our pass is completed, and you definitely can see reduction in amount of polygons, but it's still preserved in a place where we need it, high definition, like right here on the chain. You can see more polygons, and when we don't need it, it kind of reduction them. So let's look in our screen and output. Right here you can see it's performed, it's fixed, 72,000 vertex, so it's applied mesh, so it's explain how much, and as well the quality, so it's removing this many, and mesh is cleaning. Is we also looking on our model, you'll notice we have it applied the X-ray. X-ray will help us to work with the bones a little bit better. So let's go ahead and switch to layout here. We'll press number 1 to just bring a little bit closer like this, and also let's now work a little bit with assigning the rigging. It's have several applications that can allow you to do after rigging, and I have some very nice video about this. However, I found they are sometimes creating more problem than they solve our issues. So it's much easier and faster to sometimes work manually. At least right now, maybe in the future we'll have a better AI. And in this case, you can notice his arms, it's much longer than human art. It's a little bit different form, so we want to customize more our bone system. At this point, you should have it your Rigify installed. If you don't, check beginning of this video where you can go inside the preference and install from there. So now we have it in the view. We're going to press Shift A in here, and from this point we'll go to armature, rig body mesh, basic. You can select humans, but it will add also face, and currently I don't want, for simplicity of this video, I don't want to add mesh on the mouth and eyes. We'll just leave it head by itself. But here's more details, include more fingers. We'll go with a very basic and click on a basic human. So our next, we need scale, and mostly what we want to look, it's a scale on a shoulder level. To see better on how it works, we'll go switch to the modeling, And in modeling, you can enable your X-ray so we can see easy skeleton. Let's create our bone structure here. Actually, let's go tab, click tab to exit edit right here. So next we press S and we scale usually to match our shoulder. I think like around here should work okay, except I also look on top of the head, maybe just a little bit below. The other ones is very important. It's press Control or Command A, and from here we go apply and be sure click on a scale. So it's kind of locked to this. Our next step is positioning our bone. So what we need to do, press tab here, going in the edit mode, and we can select, you can select elements, press G and just point them where you want it, and so on. So you can reposition all of them. Sometimes they may be not aligned just in one axis, so you can press number 3 key, and for example you can see like from sideways and reposition here as well. If you're positioning bones, like for example you don't want to have it just one side, you want mirror it, you can always go right on the top where it's have butterfly, press X, and now it will be mirrored them. So it's meaning if I select this bone, press G and reposition, you can see both of them moving. So in this case, it's for the symmetrical figures, it can help. In my case, I know he is not totally symmetrical. So in this case, and you can see like a bone a little bit on the side. Now we already link them together. So it's kind of connect flesh to the bones. For this, we need to go back to our object mode and we'll just press tab. That will switch between edit or object mode, and you can see right there, you can see how they change, see? Okay. Then we need to select child or our mesh first by clicking on this. Next we'll hold down shift and click on a bone. You'll notice the color is changed. Bright orange is for the parent and kind of darker orange will be for the child. So then we press Control Command P, and from here we need to select with automatic weight just down below here. Let's press this. This may take a little bit time, and it's important to look on the output because sometimes it can silent fail, so it does not tell you it's fail, because mostly it says on them if it's fail we'll need to reduce polygons or maybe something else is broken there or not connecting properly. So be sure you pay attention to the messages. And we can see our fusion was successful, and also we can see right here we have our mesh and bones, they all work together. If you have some problems come up with this, you can always decimate by going inside to your mesh, click on the wrench and decimate here, just make some reductions as well. But most time if you prepare with a little bit less polygons or mostly with cleaning polygons, you should have it working just fine without this problem. Okay, let's see how our poses now is working. So I'm in object mode, and down below right there we're going to switch to our pose mode. Be sure our armature is selected. Okay, and here pose mode we'll just going and select, let's select just this bone, one big bone. We'll go ahead, press R to rotate and just move this slightly up, and here you can see our arm move up, so we know our bones link to our mesh and it's ready for animations or any other use. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you find this informative, and if so, please give it like, subscribe. Remember, all information and codes links will be down below in descriptions. Thank you for your support, and we'll see you next time.